to date, I don't think people have actually paid attention to how significant the Bible is. I know people are like, what is he saying? The Bible is important now? Yes, the Bible is very important. It's a powerful tool. This single book has moved the entire world. Whether you want to admit it or not, whether you believe it or not, this single book has got every single person on the face of the earth talking about it. Whether you believe it, whether you don't believe it, whether you've heard of it, whether you haven't heard of it, whether you ascribe to it, you don't ascribe to it, it has got everybody debating. This is the only book you can see people from total different perspective to life sit in one place and debate their lives out, because each stand is trying to prove whether is or is not the Bible is. Such a powerful tool that was used against our fathers, against our spirituality, against everything that our fathers labored for. Such a powerful tool to turn an entire continent negative. Such a powerful tool to make an entire people think they are cursed. Such a powerful book that makes you look at your parent as evil. It's powerful. It's a tool. It's a powerful tool that has been engineered in a way to ensure that even now when you go to your family and you talk about Christianity, you see how they look at you. Why do you think they look at you the way they do? Why do you think people pay particular attention to the things that are coming out of your mouth? This single book is actually, and most people would not accept it, this single book is actually the reason why the world is where it is today. Whether you want to talk about spirituality, whether you want to talk about idolatry, whether you want to talk about sin in general, whether you want to talk about agriculture, whether you want to talk about food, whether you want to talk about diet, whether you want to talk, this single book is affecting every single department that this system that we have is operating with. So of course you must know how powerful this book is. So if you know something as powerful as this book, this single book have made a lot of people die. This book has killed a lot of people. Of course, I'm being dramatic. I'm not literally saying the book got up and went to kill anybody. Like, let me see. Like I have the Bible here, and the Bible gets up and go kill anybody that it wants to kill. No, that's not what I mean. But people have used this book, and in the name of this book, to kill a whole lot of people. Do you think that it's not necessary that we study this book? As a matter of fact, I charge every single person that wants to understand the dimensions, understand the dynamisms of even spirituality. Let's come to spirituality. You must read this book. You must study this book. If your, lack of a better word, your enemy has something against you, what should you do? Should you not want to find out what your enemy knows against you, has against you? If you are being governed by some bylaws and some constitutions, would you not want to know what is written inside this thing that is actually deterring everybody apart? This is why I do Living Christianity on Tuesdays, because I want to go back to the same tool that they use to keep us under, to understand this tool better. In as much as I've done this I've studied this book for so many years, I still feel it's very necessary that I walk you through some of the things that you probably read but didn't really pay attention to it, because whilst you're reading it, you were wearing this spectacle that could only see what this spectacle is telling you to see, i.e. religion. This is why I go through this. Don't throw your Bibles away. Listen, you got to know what is written in your Bible. You got to understand what is written in the Bible. You got to try and get into the minds of the writers of the Bible. What they were thinking. We all know this is not a divine book. Far from it. I can show you hundreds and multiple times why this is not a divine book. But if this book has been engineered to carry such power, what is power? Power is just the ability to will, right? The ability to will. If this single book is willing a lot of people to do a lot of things, and it's sucking people's authority, people's will, people's identity out of them, and it's making people live their lives through these words, then of course this book has power. So now what we want to do is to continue teaching from this book. That's why I've dedicated my Tuesdays to just go into this book and bring out some of the things that you never looked at it twice. You only looked at it from one frame and never stood outside the frame to actually see how big the frame is. I'm going to take you there. I'm going to go to every line of this book. I promise you, we're going to do it. Go to every line of this book. Study it. Remember, this is not a hate class. We don't hate anybody. We don't have anything against anybody. As a matter of fact, no, yeah. And if you're in the community, the I am community, you would understand. I mean, if you're in the community and if you partake in I am class, you would understand totally what I'm saying. We just love ourselves too much. I just love myself. I love everybody that look like me. You understand? So much so that I want to help anybody that is under come up. You get what I'm saying? This is all goodness. This is all wellness. This all so that at least every single human being on the face of the earth would exercise the ability to use their brains and will, and to actually allow a lot of people to operate as a full-time human being. Because I know without a doubt that no matter what we say, no matter what we teach, a lot of people are not going to live as full-time human beings. So that's okay. Definitely. So anyway, let's go into today, okay? Let's jump into it. Aquaba. Listen, welcome to the Meditated Truth. My name is Kojo Bento. Okay, I want to go back to something, but let me not go. Listen, I'm excited. I get excited every time I get opportunity to sit here, and I'm committing more. You see, I'm committing more, so I'm trying as much as possible to ensure that I don't miss any days. I actually put in the work, regardless of how busy the schedules become, that I actually put in the work and do the things that I must do. So I want to thank you for your consistency in watching, for always telling a friend, telling a family member to watch this guy come to say things. I want to say a big thank you to the Creator, our Father, my Father. You're entitled to call the Creator anyhow you best want to express the Creator, but to me, He is the Father. I want to say a big thank you to the Mother Earth, the powers of the air dimension, the powers of the earth dimension, the powers of the water dimension, the powers of the fire dimension. Big thank you to Nana C, Nana Joe, Nana Bin, Nana Oku, Nana Yao, Nana Fin, Nana Min. Now, Fijay, man, Nam Frama. I want to say a big thank you to Nana Tuaba Insu. Nana Utubia, yes, I gotta get used to this name. Nana Utubia Insu, and of course, all the powers that be, all the gods that are around us, all the powers that are constantly showing up. I'm humbled to be in this place where I can even say things like this, coming from where we're coming from. Who are you? How dare you talk like this? So for me to actually have this liberty to actually say the things that I want to say without being in a position of thinking, oh, I'm going to be judged and I'm going to be killed the next day. No, but I say everything that I say, that I might say everything that there is, and if I'm saying something that is offending anything, anywhere, any power, anything, then we talk about it. But it's not a condemnation thing that is coming from my head just because I'm saying gods or powers or authorities, or I mention the name of the gods that are around me. Not from I love them so much. So because honestly, within a short space of time, within a few years that I've worked with the gods, with the powers that be, they mean more to me than all my years in Christianity. So I cherish them so much. I love them so much, especially the fact that the Nana Frama has been there all my life, my entire life. He's constantly been around me. I'm humbled, and I want to say this thing, like, I think the title Osofo is back on. Osofo. Also, you know how I used to be called a pastor, because I was literally a pastor, and I didn't want to associate the name with, because I was out of Christianity, and it got to a place where I honestly didn't know what to call myself. So a lot of people ask me, so what do we call you? I'm like, I don't know. You know what? Call me elder. No, I got the right thing back. Osofo. So henceforth, listen, don't worry about titles. Just call me Osofo. You can call me Osofo. Osofo simply means the mouthpiece, not necessarily the mouthpiece. The teacher of the gods, the ones that teach about and speak about and instruct and teach things about the gods. And so that title, if you want to call me Osofo, that's totally okay. That's totally okay. Don't worry about it. That's cool. That's actually cool, So you can call me any of these. But Kojo Bento, of course, his name. And thank you for constantly tuning in and always subscribing to this channel. And I like to talk now. No, I think I only talk when I'm actually teaching. And when I'm not teaching, I don't talk much. Believe that. I don't really talk much. So I don't want to waste any much time. Let's go straight into it. And I want to go back just a couple of steps into what I started from last week. I'm still on the subject of forgetting our gods. Why do you forget the gods of your fathers? Why have you forgotten the gods of your fathers? Why did you even forget the gods of your fathers? So of course, I know the reason why. I'm not coming for you. 1 Kings 2:1-4 says, as David's time to die drew near, he charged Solomon his son, saying, I'm going to the way of all the earth. So every single thing on the face of the earth has a way they go. A way means a place, a channel, a process. Every single thing on the way of the earth. See, the word in here is not about a way of a person, a human being. A way of the multi-dimensions. Every single existence, every single life force that is living in this multi-dimension goes through this way. So David, was time for David to go through this. I'm just reading the story. Okay. Say, it was time for David to go according to the way of the earth. Be strong, therefore, and show yourself a man. Be strong, therefore, and show yourself. What does it mean to show yourself a man? Now we read on. It says, keep the charge of the Lord your God. Read it. The Lord your God. Keep the charge of the Lord your God. He never said anything about my God. He's not saying anything about the God of your fathers. He says, he never said anything about the gods or the people around David, around Solomon. To keep the charge of your God. Why did David have to stress on your God? Why didn't David say the God? Keep the charge of the God. Because there's not a single thing like the God. Why didn't David say keep the charge of your creator? These are the simple, fine margins, little details that most of us, majority of us, don't really pay attention to. Keep the charge of your God. Now, mind you, David's time is up. He's passing away, and then he's being asked to keep he's passing away, passing the baton, the mantle to the son, and now he's asking the son to keep the charge of your God. Where is this God coming from? This is the God of David that he's passing on to his son. He didn't say the God of the universe, he said your God. And whether you know this or not, these were the ways of our fathers. Remember, the way David was about to go the way of all the earth. Come on, simple margins, little things. Pay attention to little things. The way, it means every single being, force, life frame on the face of the earth had a way to go. It doesn't matter who your God is, or my God is, or his God is, or that God is. Every single one of us would go through the same way. And when David, according to the story, was about to go to his way, he called his son up and said, son, I'm passing the God to you. The God that brought me here. The God that made me who I am. I'm passing the baton to you. Why is this evil? Oh, wait. It's not evil because it's in the Bible. And when it's not in the Bible, it's evil. So long as it doesn't appear in the Bible, it's evil. And once it appears in the Bible, it gets written in the Bible, it is no longer evil. Once somebody who is called a child of Abraham does something with, and you know I'm being dramatic, don't mind me. It's evil. If my father was passing on, and my father says, son, I'm going the way of the earth. Keep charge of your God. Which God do you think my mind would be on if my father is telling me to keep charge of my God? I am not going to go out there and go and look for who this God my father. No, I am going to go to the people that are close to my father, the elders, the people that at least have an understanding of how my dad got. Even if I don't know this God, or I'll ask my dad, which God are you talking about? My dad will say, not that God, not this God, not their God, your God. You get it? Anyway, I was just bringing this back. To walk in his way, the way of your God, to keep his status, the status of your God, to keep his commandment. Listen, there's no 110 commandment. Every single God on the face of the earth has his or her own commandment. Every single energy has his or her own commandment. I don't need to be spiritual, or I don't need to be baptized by any Holy Spirit to know that when I pour water from this bottle, the water will wet the carpets that I'm on. So inasmuch as this is not a God, this bottle, anyway, this is the community water. You know, when you come down, you enjoy the community water. This bottle has its own commandment. What does its commandment say? So long as it contains a liquid in it, don't open it upside down. Will this commandment apply to this? This is open already. I turn it upside down, nothing drops. I turn this upside down and I open it and it drops. You think? What is this? It drops. So the commandment of this is that do not open upside down, because every single thing in it is coming down. This is the commandment. The commandment of this is that You can turn me upside down. I just don't mind. But don't bring me around fire. When you bring me around fire, I'm only wax. I would melt. This is what it means for a God to have a commandment. Every single God on the face of the earth has his own commandment. There's not a thing like just 10 commandments governing the universe. Oh, one day I want to go into the 10 commandments. One day we will go into the 10 commandments. Every single thing on the face of the earth has laws governing it. Even physics that you study in the book has laws. Economics has laws. Biology has laws. Every single thing on the face has laws that governs it. Your country that you are in has its own laws. So, if I'm pouring water and it's closed, I'm keeping the commandment of the bottle. When this water come around, fire, the water still, maybe the bottle, but when you pour the water in the fire, probably the water is going to quench the fire. When we do this to the wax is not going to quench fire. The wax is going to burn more. What does this teach you? That the waves of every energy are different. Every single atom is functioning differently. Every cell of your body is functioning differently. So therefore, it comes with its own commandments, its own laws. There's the law of nature that says that if you joke with your life will be taken from you. There's not a thing like a universal 10 commandments. If your God is saying, don't bring me around the fire, that is your God. My God is water. My God is air. Maybe my God is just a tree. Anyway, I'm not saying a tree is a God. I'm just saying my God speaks to a tree. Before somebody twists my words, and you know how people be here. So therefore, there's not a single thing like a universal. And we all know where these 10 commandments are coming from. But that's not even, one day I'll take my time to go into it. But the subject I'm trying to address today is the fact that David was passing on his guard to the son and said, make sure you abide by the laws of this God that brought me here. There's nothing wrong with that. So when my father is passing on the God that brought him here, why should there be something wrong with it? Oh, when it's this, that's not wrong. But when it's me, why the need to demonize what your fathers did, but applauded and embraced and celebrated what their fathers did? Chase what? And his testimonies, what does testimony mean? Testimony simply means that God did so many things. So that particular God, according to what is written in the law of Moses, we have the law of Adwata, we have the law of Mesa, we have the law of Bokuma, we have so many laws. That you may succeed in all that you do wherever you turn. That you may succeed in all that you do wherever you turn. Simply means wherever you turn. The God that is behind you would go with you and ensure that you succeed there. So that the Lord may carry out his promise which he spoke concerning me, saying, if your sons are careful of their way to walk before, you see, so that the God that I have will keep his word. God said, when David went to God, said, listen, if your sons do this, this is what our fathers did. So there's a clause to this. If your sons do this, your sons will become this. And if your sons don't do this, your sons will not become this. Because if your sons go against me and I'm poured into the fire and I'm melt, I will no longer be the wax in a glass. Which he spoke concerning me, saying, if your sons are careful of their ways to walk before me in truth, with all their heart and with all their soul, you shall not like a man on your throne forever. On David's throne, not the throne of the world, on David's throne. One throne, one. Do you know how many thrones we have in Africa? So there would always be a son on your throne. There would always be a son on your throne. Always. Always. Because the throne is backed by the God behind your fathers. Deuteronomy 6:10-12 says what? Then it shall come to pass about when the Lord your God brings you into the land which he swore to your fathers. The land which he swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, to give you great and splendid cities which you did not build. That's the stealing. I spoke about it yesterday. But let me address something here. Which he promised to your fathers. How is it that their fathers are never cursed and our fathers are cursed? How is it that when it comes to their fathers, it's always promises, and when it comes to our fathers, it's always curses? I think I got to make the title of this. I got to make this the title. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Why is it that when it comes, when it comes to our fathers, it's all about curses? Why? Somebody explain to me. Our fathers never had anything. First and foremost, remember who moved where. If you are full in your house, would you go searching for food? Would you go looking for food? If you're not hungry, if you have everything that life has to offer you, would you get up every day and go to work? The reason why you're going out there is because black, I don't want to use this term, but brothers and sisters, let us wake up. Why is it? If you are hungry, the reason why you go to work, you get up 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., all the times you get up, go to work, do this, come back. It's because you're trying to fill a void. It's a void in your bank account, a void in your house. You're trying to put food on the table. You're trying to pay the bills. You're trying to do all of that. You don't have all that, so you're trying to do all that. Right? Who said our fathers couldn't travel? They did. Our fathers were one of the people that traveled the shores of all the seas across the globe. But why did they love to be here? Because they had everything. We never had to travel anywhere to get anything from anybody. The host and the traveler, who is in need? But yet, whenever it comes to the subject of your God, read this for yourself. It says what? I will give you splendid cities which you did not build. It means that before the God of Isaac, Abraham, Jacob moved to the Bible is even telling you so. Before they moved to the cities, these cities were splendid, had money, had everything. The God of Jacob had nothing. The God of Jacob always had nothing. The God of Jacob always made sure. I should make it. The God of Jacob never had anything. The God of Abraham. Because before the God of Abraham was introduced, every single place was splendid. Cities of gold and majestic power, architecture, intelligence, science. We were operating in all these things. The God of Abraham had nothing, according to the Bible. I'm reading from the Bible, and this is the God they've used. This is the tool they use. That's what I'm saying. I'm reading from it. Going around all the places, chasing for where they can be blessed by their God. Guess what? Before they came, our God had already blessed us. Our God has already led us to all the fertile grounds, all the good places. Come on. Wake up, Africa. They came searching for our goodies, but yet their fathers were blessed. Their fathers were never cursed. They end up saying, Bible says that cursed be the one who leaves inheritance for his children's children's children. Our fathers have left so much wealth, and children and grandchildren. What do they have? Name me one Western world that has something that was theirs. Name me one Western culture that had anything that was passed to them by their great-great-grandfathers. If their grandfathers didn't go up to steal them and rob them and rape people. I'm not trying to be emotional right now, but it hurts that our people will not wake up. It hurts that our people will not wake up to see this truth. And it hurts that we don't even value the wealth that our fathers passed on. But yet, how dare you stand in any church room, stand in any place, and call your fathers a curse because somebody brought a Bible to you. But yet whoever brought the Bible to you never had your fathers pass on anything to them. They went about stealing. They went about raping people. They went about killing people just to get the things they have. Yet you turn around and look at them and call them blessed and call your fathers cursed. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on me too. Because I used to pray those nonsense prayers. Shame on me too. Because I used to pray those shameful prayers. And shame on you too. Take the Bible say, blessed is the man who leaves inheritance. Go to the villages. Follow up our history. Every time an elderly person died, they left behind wealth, gold. There's so much gold in our villages that the world can't even... I'm not even supposed to say. They're not supposed to know this. Anyway, they can't even try to take it if they try because the powers that be would kill them. We look at our fathers and say, I've said this about my own father. Because Christianity taught us to say these things. He says what? He says, then it shall come to pass, when the Lord brings you into the land which he swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give you great and splendid cities which you did not build. What kind of God promotes armed robbery? What kind of God promotes stealing? No, I'm daring any God to show up right now. Let's have a conversation. Did the Creator not create all things? Let's pretend this is the same God that gave all these cities to these people. Was he sleeping when he gave these cities to these people? Is he not supposed to be a God? Is he not supposed to know everything? Did he not know that the people are going to rebel? Okay. Sorry, I'm sweating. Okay. Let's make a case. Let's just say this God, even human beings will learn. What kind of God does not learn? Go to your Bibles and read these things. Even human beings will learn. What kind of God does not learn from his mistakes? Let's pretend these cities that this God of Abraham is about to steal for Abraham, right? Let's pretend it was the same God of Abraham that gave these people that had these cities all the wealth they had. And let's pretend that when these people became rich and very powerful, and they became arrogant, right? And they turned their backs on their God, or the God that made them. So the God of Abraham decided, you know what? I'm not messing with these people anymore. Let me move away and go and pick Abraham's descendants and bring back all the wealth I've given to these people back to these people. Let's pretend that's the case, okay? Let's make a case for the God of Abraham. When the God of Abraham was making Abraham the next candidate to enjoy all these so-called blessings that he's given to these people, did the God of Abraham not make his homework? Did he not know that these new people are also going to betray him? Don't take my word for it. What kind of God promotes armed robbery? Let's read. Let's read. I'm going to jump a bit because of the case I'm making for the God of Abraham. I'm going to jump just a bit. Exodus 32. Watch this. Watch this. What kind of God don't learn from his mistakes? Watch this. So we are making we're making a case for the God of Abraham, right? So we are pretending that all the cities that he's about to rob and give to the descendants of Abraham, he gave them all this wealth because they turned their back on him. So he's upset. He's emotional God. So he's turned his back and he says, okay, I'm choosing a whole new people to bless them and give them all this wealth. What kind of God repents? Didn't the Bible even say this case does not even make sense? Then the Bible will say, I am the one that giveth and I do not repent the gifts that I gave. So if you even pretend that he gave these gifts to them, why is he going for it back? Are you a baby? It's only children that give you gift and want to take it back. It's only babies. What kind of God is this? Is this God a baby? That this God gives all these blessings, and then when he's angry, when he's peeved, when he's emotional, of course, an emotional God, he comes back and says, you know what, I'm taking back, give me my ball. It's like when we're kids, you find all the people like, when I go to the field, and I never did this. I'm being honest, I never did this. But you have a lot of kids that they'll bring the soccer to the stadium or to the soccer field and we'll play. And then when you don't pass him the ball, he comes like, I'm taking my ball. What kind of God is this? Are you a baby? This God is telling us to grow, but this God is refusing to grow. Think about this. If he says that he gives a gift and he does not repent, how then does he give a gift to a group of people, and because they betray him, he goes back and rob the people and give to another God? Let me fast forward. I'll come back to Deuteronomy. Let me fast forward. Let me read something to you. Exodus 32, 1-8. Now when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down from the mountain, the people assembled about Aaron and said to him, come, make us a God who would go before us. For this Moses, the man who brought us after this. I'll read this again. I'm just trying to make you the point. We do not know what has become of him. Aaron said to them, tear, because if I say you the thing I'm making, tear off the gold rings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons and your daughters, and bring them to me. Then all the people tore off the gold rings which were in their ears and brought them to Aaron. He took this from their hands, fashioned it with a carving tool, right, and made it into a molten calf. And he said, Anyway, let me continue. And they said, "This is your God, O Israel, who brought you out of the land of Egypt." Now Aaron saw this. He built an altar before, and Aaron made proclamation and said, "Tomorrow shall be a feast to the Lord." So the next day they rose early and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Then the Lord spake to Moses, "Go down at once, for your people whom you brought out." Now, and I'll come back to this. Honestly, I want to break this up because there's so much discontinuity in this place alone that will shock you. But let me fast forward. So then the Lord spake to Moses, "Go down at once, for your people whom you brought up from the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have quickly turned aside from the way which I commanded them. They have made for themselves a molten calf and have worshipped it and have sacrificed to it. Said, 'This is your God who brought you out of the land.'" So here's my case. If the God of Abraham said, don't forget, he says, "I'll bring you to the land which I swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, to give you great and splendid cities which you did not build, and houses full of all good things which you did not." Is that not stealing? If I go into a house right now and break in, will they not arrest me? I think the God of the Bible, God of Bible, should go to his home, should go to prison, should serve some time, because you how are you bringing these things? Anyway, that's not my case. Let me come back to my case. My case is that if these people offended you because you gave them cities, beautiful things, good things, and you took it away, hoping to get a new candidate who would not offend you, and you give to the new candidate, and this new candidate goes to offend you again, what kind of dumb God are you? I want to know. Because you did not learn from the first time. So now, are you come to take robbing Peter to pay Paul? Are you come to take from the children, descendants of Abraham, and also go and give to another people because they've turned their backs? It's like saying, "You know, baby, I'm gonna marry you. I love you girls so much. Listen, I love you girls so much. You know my ex-wife, I gave my ex-wife all these buildings, all these nice things and all of that. And my ex-wife cheated on me, so I'm taking everything from my ex-wife." Even that is justifiable, but let me still make my point. I'm going to take all of that to my ex-wife, and I'm going to bring all of that to you. First and foremost, did your ex-wife not give birth? How can you strip your ex-wife naked? Did your ex-wife not give birth to you? Did your ex-wife not have children? So when you strip everything from your ex-wife, what do you expect your ex-wife to feed on? What do you expect your ex-wife to use to feed the children? Think about, what kind of God is this? When you take everything from these ex-people that you used to be a God to, huh? How are they supposed to survive? How are they supposed to raise their kids? Your grandkids in there. What am I saying? He said kill all of them. That's the God of the Bible. He said kill all of them. Kill all and take everything. So when your ex-wife offends you, you kill your ex-wife. You take everything and give it to your new wife. What would you do when your new wife offends you again? So you see, that case can never stand. So now let's come back to he not giving anything to these people. Back to the question. Why are you stealing, God of the Bible, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, God of Jacob? Why are you stealing? If this is a divine book and this is a true story, then let's analyze the story. This is the book they use to deceive all of us. This is the book that misled our fathers. They caused our fathers to abandon who they were. Their spirit. This book, I wouldn't even write a book like this. How much a God, a divine God, God of Isaac, God of Abraham, writes this mess? Of course, this is not a divine book, but this is the book they use to deceive you. So let's analyze the things that are in this book. Let's analyze the things that are in this book. When you talk like this, they say you're backsliding. The devil has got you. Then this devil is too wise than the God of the Bible. If the devil is the one teaching me to say the things that I'm saying, then of course the God of the Bible is down to the devil. Why is it when it comes to our fathers are cursed? But yet our fathers are the ones that fed everybody across the face of the earth. Our fathers are the ones that built all the architecture that you see, built everything. But our fathers were cursed. Shame on you and shame on me. You know what we got to do? I think it's time we actually start paying homage to our fathers. Start asking for forgiveness for all the filth we've rained upon their names. This is the book, this book, that the God is so confused. This God that will kill the ex-wife, kill the children, kill his own children, just so he can satisfy the new people. And when the new people betray him, he said, I will bring you into captivity. What kind of God is this? At least the little I know about our spirituality, every God is seeking, every single God is seeking to protect their own. Every single God is seeking to protect their own. Every single God. The frog will not let me be. The frog is even upset. The frog is even upset. The God is like, yeah, say it. Say it. You see? Say it. Say it. Say it. This God, I don't get it. This God. The frog is even saying the same thing. Do you get what I'm saying? What kind of God would do this? What kind of God would do this? Why were we looking at our fathers as cursed? Meanwhile, our fathers have everything. The same Bible is telling you that cursed be the one that does not live in him. A blessed man, a righteous man is living, the one that lives in inheritance. A righteous man, meaning all these people that brought the Bible were not righteous men, because they did not leave anything for their descendants. They only lived a legacy of robbery, of stealing, of slavery. Of robbery, of stealing, of slavery. Slavery. That's the legacy they left. How's this righteousness? Yet our fathers that lived good lives honored our mothers, honored everybody else, opened their homes for these same people to come in. And the ones you looked at them as cursed people, you need to check your dictionary to redefine what a cursed person is, because our fathers are certainly not cursed. Anyway, listen. I didn't even go anywhere. It's time already. I didn't go anywhere. It's time already. I gotta go. Listen. The frog is saying bye. You say, listen. The frog is saying, this God of the Bible, at least I've come to your house. You've provided enough water, and now I'm raising my generations around. I'm so, you are a better God to me than even the God of, the frog is saying it. Listen. Because I put a lot of water around for the frogs to swim in. And I never go like, get out of here, froggy, get out of here. Like the minute this frog is crying into the video that I'm teaching you, I get upset. I go outside and then, why is this frog? He's betraying me. This one. We got to study this book, okay? Like I said, I've done it several years. You got to start paying attention to how they misled and lied upon our fathers, and disrespected and dishonored the gods of our lands. We got to see how they did it and make sure it's never done again. Stay blessed. I love you guys. Have a great evening. Please make sure we got to grow. Listen, we have got to grow. We have got to raise the stakes. We got to raise the awareness. Let people know that indeed we have to repent from our wicked ways of how we dishonored our fathers. Have a great night. I love you guys.